All right, y'all, back to work. Boy, fantastic job today. Lots of folks making money with us right now in our morning trade room. Hope you guys had a profitable day as well. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about tonight. We just saw a massive reversal at the opening bell overnight. And I'll tell you, with the FOMC tomorrow afternoon, we might get lucky. We might get one of my favorite chart patterns setting up tomorrow morning, something I call a slingshot reversal. So, boy, I'm very excited for tomorrow morning before the FOMC announcement in the afternoon. I have a handful of trades on my radar for tomorrow. We'll cover entries, we'll cover exits. By the time we're done tonight, you'll have an easy roadmap, a game plan to make some money with us tomorrow morning as well. So charts are ready. Enough of the intro. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting our channel. It's been a fantastic month of May so far. Let's keep the good times rolling on Wednesday morning. S&P SPY ready to go tonight. Nasdaq triple Qs are all ready. I've got 4 important clues that are telling us where the winning trades are setting up tomorrow. One of those 4 clues is right here on the hourly time frame. I like to use these hourly time frames as an overall directional bias, and we know right now the buyers have all control of momentum. That will be my directional filter from this point going forward. Second clue is over on the calendar for tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's not your average Wednesday. It is FOMC day tomorrow. Nobody really expects them to cut rates tomorrow, especially after that big non-farm payroll number we saw last Friday morning. But you know that press conference at 2:30 Eastern time, you know Jay Powell will be forced to talk about tariffs and his guidance going forward to the month of June. So the most important thing for tomorrow is just be careful after 11 o'clock. My goal tomorrow is get in as early as I can. I can leave a trade open into the afternoon, but markets do kind of weird things the couple hours before FOMC. So just be aware of that. Early in, get rid of risk, get some green on the screen, as we say. So my goal tomorrow is get in as early as I possibly can and then grab your popcorn because there'll be some fireworks around that press conference. The third and fourth clue right now is over on the tick charts right now. Remember, we don't use time charts for entries. Entries are easier on tick charts. All the time frames, by the way, in the upper left-hand corner. That's a 7,000 tick chart. And if you're tuning in for the first time right now, welcome to the channel. That is the 21 EMA. It is the only indicator we need to find lots of winning trades each week. There are 2 big clues right now on this tick chart. One clue, we talk about this a lot in these videos, strong run down, pull back, retest off that low, and a bounce back up again. We call these retest trades in our trade room. We had a beautiful one this morning on the smaller time frame, right? We don't trade a 7,000 tick chart. We trade a 1,000 tick chart in our trade room. A beautiful example of that retest trade. Now, look where that retest trade went to. All the way back to that high right there. So keep your eyes on that high. Strong run down, retest. We know right now that retest tells us buyers are trying to take out that 57.06 overhead. But what is arguably the more important clue right now is this trading range and that rotation. Remember, ranges love to rotate. They go up, down, up in a very convincing breakout going higher. This big, massive rotation off the low is really what sets up that slingshot reversal I mentioned earlier. And we'll talk about that here as we go deeper here tonight. One thing I do want to talk about, though, is this rotation. This could easily wind up rotating all the way back down to those lows, get a beautiful breakout pullback zone off the hourly time frame. I would love to get a reversal back down again. I got some great ways to sell this thing back down for us, ways to buy it down here. So even though it's not as realistic for tomorrow, anything's possible. We'll cover that scenario a bit later on in this video. But let's talk first, though, about 3 ways I want to trade this big move higher. One of them is that slingshot reversal. If we're lucky, if the trading gods are shining down on us tomorrow morning, we're going to go sideways up here into a trading range. Now, remind me, what do ranges do? They love to rotate down, up, the amount below, the amount above, right? The amount below, the amount above, all right? So ranges love to rotate. What else do we know about ranges? When ranges break out, they love breakout pullback. So one of my favorite trades for tomorrow is I would love to get a range up here overnight, a run going lower, and a bear trap here. Let those bears come in, let them try once, let them try twice. I like to use this 2-try rule because then I know exactly where their stops are and I can just buy right into those stop losses to fuel that reversal now, that slingshot reversal going higher here. Now remember, ranges love to rotate. So the amount below the range, the amount above the range, that will tell us now where this market now wants to go. And as we're completing that rotation now, add to my winner. Remember, the easiest way to make more money, especially in range days like this or range environments like this, is to add to your winner. Add-on trades are very simple. I want to get a higher high in price and get right below that low. We saw one this afternoon. We took this trade this morning in our trade room. Strong shot up, shallow pullback, higher high in price. That was a beautiful trade this morning in the morning trade room. Like I said earlier, lots of folks loving the morning trade room right now. That add-on trade, I want to see it right over here. So I would love to get a bear trap under that range. Combine that with the previous range, it's almost like a breakout pullback, right? That slingshot now off of the low, and we're going to take out that big high up there at 57.06. Now, here's another trade on my radar for tomorrow. We may not end up going sideways up here, right? We may not go into a range. I would love to because we get FOMC tomorrow afternoon. We may not get that slingshot reversal off of that trading range. We may wind up continuing to grind higher. If we keep grinding higher right now, I do not want to chase this thing, and we're way too bullish to want to short this thing right now. So what do? Well, again, we know we have that range back there. Now think about a breakout pullback. Now in this environment, I'll probably look for a two-legged pullback. When I say two-legged pullback, a two-legged pullback is just like it sounds. One leg ideally gets below the moving average. The second leg is ideally a little bit more than a measured move. That will line up hopefully around the top of that range. And remember, guys, we're not going to pick a bottom on this. I'm not going to waste my time with divergence or read tape. I like to use traps or bear traps, right? Wait for price to pull back once, twice. If you're caught short, you get stopped out, you buy your way out of that trade. That's why these bear traps work so well. And again, shallow pullback, higher high in price. The easiest way to make a lot more money, the easiest way to make your account grow faster is always by adding to your winners. This would be your classic breakout pullback if we do keep on grinding higher. I love the idea of using that prior range here now for that breakout pullback, bear trap, add on. Keep your eyes on those key levels up overhead for targets. The third scenario though, and again, I will talk about that run back down again, how to short it, how to buy it off of that low. We'll talk about that in a moment. In fact, why don't we slow down for a second, because I know most folks watching right now, you guys know these patterns already. You're making money with these patterns already. But if you're watching for the first time right now, this might be a brand new language. What is this guy talking about? Range rotations, slingshot reversals, bear traps, add-ons. I get it. I do look at things a bit differently here on these YouTube videos. But guys, I teach this entire system in my free trading class. In fact, I have a ton of examples, bear traps, add-on trades, range reversals. I have so much more I want to share with you guys, help you time better entries, make more money with stuff. What I'll do is I'll put a link up top here for you, upper right-hand corner, hit that link that popped up there, take that free trading course, because the strategy I teach in that short video course will teach you a stupidly simple trick we use in our members trade room that literally tells us exactly where the winning trades are going to be each day. More importantly though, I want to teach you my 4 favorite entry setups so you can time better entries, make a lot more consistent money. Guys, if you're still missing the best entries right now, if you've lost your confidence in your current strategy, hit that link that popped up there. What are you waiting for? Pause the video, grab the link that popped up there, watch that free trading course. Everyone loves all the trade examples I include in that short video series. The best part is it is completely 100% free for you. Also keep in mind too, guys, I'm going to put all the important links you need to learn the strategy, join our trade room, time better entries. I'll put all the details you need below the video, the description of this YouTube video. Start first on that free video course because most folks start making money all on their own, all from that free video class I keep talking about. And if you're on Twitter or X, I post a ton of charts and videos and mindset stuff throughout the day. If you're on Twitter X, give me a follow. Again, all the details you'll need are linked up for the description of this YouTube video. All right, now you know where to go if you're new here for the first time right now to learn these entry tactics. I will talk about that move going lower here in a moment. We've covered the range up here. We've covered the move higher, the breakout pullback up here. What is also very possible in situations like this is it pops up and begins to grind going higher. So one more scenario I'm watching for tomorrow is that if it pops up and starts grinding overnight, a lot of updates right now coming out of the White House regarding tariffs. We heard about from China. Apparently on May 8th, Besant is meeting with Chinese negotiators for trade talks. These good news about trade talks may keep coming, and we may keep on grinding going higher here. If we grind going higher, it's very simple now. I'm not going to chase after it. I'm going to mark a trend line off these highs. I'm going to bring that trend line down around that low. See what I'm doing here if I'm on that channel like that? Now, if we're lucky on this, we can use some of these those prior highs up there, right? Combine that high. The most important thing though is when markets grind like this, I want to go out and find prior swings. Again, I would love it if we can get off that high as well. That will be a definite area right in there for some entries here. And again, as we pull back right now, my favorites are to get below some of these prior swings. It'll be a bonus if we can use that prior high right there. And my goal will be not to pick a bottom on this, but again, same thing, right? Let those bears try once, let them try twice, squeeze those stops running higher here. And remember, don't just kick your feet up on the desk after that bear trap get you paid. Go find that separation, higher high, below that low, and we're in going higher. Now, one cool thing about these pop and grinds, these kind of pop up and grinds, is the pop leg can be used as a measuring leg. So right now, we know how big that pop leg is right now. Once we know how big that pop leg is, and we see how deep that pullback is, then we can combine that and leave some runners into maybe lunch, into early afternoon, ahead of FOMC tomorrow afternoon. So keep that in mind. One of the easiest ways to make more money is to let your winners run. If we know how big the pop leg is, we then know how big that measuring leg will be. Pin that off the deepest part of that pullback. Could be here, anywhere around that area, and that will give us our targets now for our runners here tomorrow. All right, so now we got a couple scenarios we're watching for tomorrow, but let's face it, right? This rotation, they just completed that pendulum swing. So it looks good for this to continue going higher here, but who knows, right? This may come all the way back down to that low. How do I sell it? How do I buy it down here? I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about that tonight. Over the Nasdaq right now, obviously bullish overall. Guys, if things were so bad out there right now, the chart would not look like this, all right? A lot of people in the comments below, they talk about all this random stuff they cherry pick off the news media. Guys, the news media they get paid to make us scared, right? You have to understand the game they are playing. And I'm telling you right now, if the world was as bad off as the news media said, the chart would not look like this. So remember, focus on the chart. The chart is the only thing that you have to worry about right now. I know a lot of folks are scared out there right now, but I'm telling you right now, turn off the television, trade the chart in front of you. And right now, we are nothing but a bull market here on the hourly. Now, I want to dive into those tick charts here and talk entries. But first though, if you're enjoying this video tonight, please help me grow this channel by hitting that like button and make sure you subscribe. I know we're all busy people these days. I appreciate you guys carving out some time and coming in tonight and watching my videos. So thank you so much for all the likes, subscribes, all the ongoing support down in the comment section. Now, let's roll our sleeves up here now. Go talk about tick charts here over on the NQ, massive. And what a cool chart right now on the Nasdaq right now. Strong run down. Again, usually they want to retest that low before we bounce back up again. That didn't happen. And what a slingshot. When I say slingshot reversal, this is exactly what I am talking about. Bullish market into a range. We rotate up, down, and slingshot, right? That bam. If there's one thing you learn from me on these videos, I hope it is how strong range rotation can really be. We call these slingshot moves every morning in our trade room. Now, again, on the S&P chart, we talked about if we see a range up here. This is my favorite play for tomorrow, because again, if we go in a range up here, that range will be a magnet. That range will be a breakout pullback. You can just tell where the bear trap will be right now. Run lower, trap the bears in, and whoop, right back up, right? Slingshot that move going higher. That will be my favorites for tomorrow. And again, right, we may not get that. If we do keep on grinding up, I will look for that two-legged pullback to buy the breakout pullback off that range. Or if we grind going higher, I will also look for that new bull channel off that high, off that low. If we're lucky, we can grab a couple of these prior highs back there, back to that channel low, bear trap them in, add on to it, always add to it. Targets off at the high, breakout leg, pop leg is the measuring leg. Same stuff we mentioned earlier there on the S&P. And again, that trade from this morning, beautiful from this morning there, right? That strong pop up, shallow pullback, higher high in price. No surprise there. Yeah, no surprise why everyone bought that this morning in the trade. I'm sure a lot of other folks did as well. Okay, how do we trade this now if it goes lower, right? How do we trade this if it goes lower? Anything is possible right now. I know we're bullish overall. So first of all, I love the idea of buying down here. I love the idea of buying there. On the way down though, how would I short something like this? This one pattern, it's called a crown reversal. Now there's two variations of a crown reversal. The classic crown reversal is actually right there in front of us right now. We go up, the buyers try, we get above a prior swing, and we run back down. That is what I would call a classic crown reversal. So as we start pulling back right now, let's say, for example, the buyers come in, they try to keep it going, and they fail. They go lower. Remember, buyers want to buy low. They go lower, we pop up, and now we see what happens is a strong red candle, big, strong, convincing red candle, right, comes in, and that is your crown reversal. Now, with a reversal like this, because we're overall bullish on the 60-minute time frame, and we have this massive slingshot off the low right now, in my world, this is a half-size position, maybe a quarter-size position. If you're a newer trader and not making money consistently going with the overall direction on the hourly chart, this might be a zero-size position. So please be careful with your position sizing when you go against the overall trend. It's a simple idea, right? When I'm going with the overall momentum, I'll go full size positions and add to my winners as it plays in my favor. On counter trend trades though, it's a half size. It's a quarter size because these are never going to be as reliable as the ones that go with the overall direction on the hourly time frame. Now, there's one variation of this crown reversal pattern. It's kind of like a V top, right? So for example, we may try to go higher here and something may come out overnight and this thing might get whacked and start running back down again. If we start seeing this thing grind down now, remember, grinding markets are a big giveaway. If it grinds down like this, remember that crown reversal, right? We go up, buyers once. Remember the trick to a crown reversal is basically a bull trap right above a prior high. So if we understand that basic part of a crown reversal pattern, now as it starts rolling lower now find a trend line off that low, off that high now, look left, find some prior swings. This one is a slight modification of it. This one's not as lucrative because you're getting in a bit lower in the process, but in my experience, for most of my students in the trade room, this one's a lot easier on the emotions, right? Because now momentum now has turned over and running lower. The idea behind this would be we're rotating back down now to the low of that trading range. So, but again, half size trade, quarter size trade, definitely not my favorite out of all of them. And remember, anytime we see a strong move like that, we know if we go back to retest that low, anybody who sells up here will take a good chunk of profit at that low. That'd be a great place. Well, first of all, it'd be a horrible place to be a seller. You're overall bullish on the hourly. You're back at big time support below a range on the lower time frame tick charts right now. That's the last place you want to sell. And so therefore be a great place for a bear trap. If we miraculously found our way all the way back to that low somehow tomorrow morning, obviously before the FOMC comes out tomorrow afternoon, it's that same bear trap, right? It's the same one try, two try, trap those bears in, squeeze those stops running higher, and remember, add to your winner, right? That's why we took the add-on trade this morning in the trade room, right? As it pulls back, if we start seeing separation off that moving average, what I mean by that is the pullback, right? The pullback doesn't pull back all the way to the moving average, right? That's what I mean by separation. There's one right there on the way down, right? Goes lower, pulls back, separation. That's a bearish add-on play right there. Separation is strength. Separation is very, very important. So over here now, we go bear trap to begin with, squeeze those stops, get that one-to-one first target, get that stop moved up to point of entry, and then we add to our winners. I like to go back in like a half size, quarter size, adding more as we roll. And again, we know how ranges work. They love to rotate the amount below, the amount above. Definitely, if you learn one thing about ranges, respect that rotation, leave that runner, and use these pendulum swings as we go from there. And don't forget to, oftentimes we don't get that bear trap down there, right? Oftentimes we'll wind up running lower and we don't get that two try back up again. It just whoop and runs right back up again. If that happens, if we see a V bottom off that low, remember that grinding technique, right? Draw that trend line off the highs, bring it off that low. We talked about that up top, right? If grinds up top, we talked about that breakout pullback earlier. This is nothing different. It's the same technique here. We look left, we find prior swings. The magic happens when you combine what we call the first test, right? The first time we pull back off that channel and right below a prior swing, right? That is always where the magic happens. They pop up, they grind going higher, we find our channel, and they pull back right below prior swings. It's the first touch. The first test is the best test off that low. And again, I'm keeping it simple here right now. You'll see a lot of examples of this in our free trading classes, but bears once, bears twice, stop those bears out, squeeze those stops, and again, add to your winners as we rotate back to the side of that range. Don't lose sight of that big range rotation. The sooner you embrace that range rotation, the better off you'll be, the more money you'll make consistently. And again, hopefully tomorrow, we'll see some sort of range up here, because that would be the easiest way to make money tomorrow. I always wish every day was a range day. Trade that slingshot back up again. Right, guys? Boy, a wild start to Wednesday, FOMC tomorrow afternoon. So get that money early in the session tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow morning, don't forget the place to be is my trade room. Every morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, guys. I can't think of any better way to learn this strategy, start making consistent, repeatable, dependable profits. Think about and do with us every morning in our trade room. Again, I'm going to put all the important links you need to learn this strategy. Enjoy all the trade examples there in that free trading course. Then promise me, come out and join me in our morning trade room, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You're going to love it. We'll do it together every morning at the opening bell. Hope you guys learned a bunch this afternoon, and hopefully I'll see you sometime soon. Trade with us in the morning trade room as a brand new member. In the meantime, be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.